This video demonstrates the installation of the Cafe 36 and 48-inch models for dual fuel professional and all gas ranges. Both types of ranges have similar installation procedure. However, some steps vary, and these will be detailed in this video. Before proceeding with the installation, please ensure to switch off the power and lock the service panel. Always use a new flexible gas connector to avoid gas leaks and personal injury. The flexible gas connector should not exceed 5 feet in length. Avoid using air curtain hood or other range hood that operates by blowing air down on the cooktop. To ensure optimum performance of the unit, consider the following recommendations shown on screen. Make sure the floor covering can withstand 180 degrees Fahrenheit without shrinking, warping, or discoloring. The flexible gas connector should not exceed 5 feet in length. Make sure 2 people are available for the installation of 36-inch range unit, and 3 people are available for the installation of 48-inch range unit. Make sure all openings in the floor under the appliance and the wall behind the appliance are sealed to prevent drafts from affecting the burner operations. Depending on the range model, 48 or 36 inches, the width of the range will be 47 7/8 or 35 7/8 inches. The cooking surface should be flush or higher than countertop. For all range models, the distance between the rear trim to cooking surface is about 1 inch. The length of the range from the rear to the front of bullnose is 29 3/8 of an inch long. The height of cooking surface is 35 1/4 to 36 3/4 inches. The height of the cooktop must be higher than the countertop. The depth to front of the range door is 28 1/2 an inch. And the toe kick or leg height is 3 1/4 to 4 3/4 of an inch long. Distance required for dual fuel and all gas professional ranges are displayed on screen. The dual fuel models C2Y486 and C2Y366 requires a minimum of 48 inches, and the all-gas model CGY366 requires a minimum of 60 inches to combustibles. Note that a custom hood installation with exposed horizontal combustible surfaces must have an auto-on feature. The entire surface of the back wall above the range and below the hood requires a non-combustible material, such as metal, ceramic tile, brick, marble, or other stone. The finished backsplash must cover the entire back wall up to the bottom of a hood, or up to 48 inches to combustibles when there is no hood. The minimum clearance of the unit with the adjacent wall must be 12 inches on each side. The minimum clearance of the working areas adjacent to the range top must be 18 inches between the bottom of the wall cabinet and the countertop. The width and length of the wall cabinet must be 12 and 16 inches respectively. The distance between the 2 floor cabinets must be 48 or 36 inches, depending on the model. For island installation, a minimum of 2 1/2 inches from the cutout to back edge of the countertop must be maintained, and a minimum of 3 inches from the cutout to side edges of the countertop must be maintained. The hardware supplied along with the product is displayed on the screen. The hardware displayed on the screen is required in order to complete gas connection to the appliance. Note that these are not provided with the product. The main tools that are needed to support the installation of this product are displayed on the screen. Note that these tools are not supplied with the product. Before you begin, ensure the floor is clean and free of any debris. To remove the packaging, follow these steps. Cut the metal banding and lift the carton straight up. Ensure to maintain a proper distance while cutting the metal banding, as the ends of the metal banding may snap towards you. Remove the corner posts and dispose of the unwanted packaging materials. And remove the griddle covers, grill grate, and burner grates. Then, lift out the cast iron griddle flue cover, grease trough, and pads. And cut the ties holding the grill grate to the grill frame. After removing the ties, lift off the burner caps and remove the foam pad. And then lift off the burner heads and remove the foam pad from underneath. Repeat for other burners. Open the oven door or doors and remove the internal packaging. Remove the shelf-holding broiler pan, tape, literature package, shelf lubricant, and probe. Note: ensure the installation location must have a minimum opening of 32 inches for doors and passageways. If the opening space is less than 32 inches, then the oven door or doors and control knobs must be removed at the time of installation of the range. To remove the oven door or doors, first fully open the door. Each hinge has a hinge lock. Pull the hinge to lock. Firmly grasp the door at the top sides, and then close the door to the near vertical position. And lift the door up and pull it straight out. Insert blade of the hand truck under the foam block. You lock to fit through the doorway. Note: ensure to not remove the base foam block while the hand truck is in use. Place the hand truck blade under the base foam block for transporting the range to the final location. Then, attach the hand truck straps around the unit. Place the hand truck straps underneath the oven door handles. To avoid damaging the side panels of the range, place a pad in between the hand truck and the range. Do not over-tighten the dolly straps. Tilt the range to lower the hand truck wheels off the skid. Cover the floor with plastic covering to avoid damage to the floor. As an alternative to plastic coverings, you can purchase appliance slide GE part number WX05X12009 to avoid damage to the floor. Move the range indoors and position the range in front of the installation location. To secure the range from tipping, take out the anti-tip bracket from the hardware kit to install it properly under the range. The anti-tip bracket is to be inserted into the opening on the anti-tip brace of the range. Engage the range to the anti-tip bracket by sliding the range back so that the arm is engaged. If the bracket arms do not engage properly with the brace to the left or right, or the bracket arm is not protruding through the brace opening, the bracket must be reinstalled. Whenever the range is pulled out from the wall, always ensure to repeat this procedure to verify the range is properly secured by the anti-tip bracket. Note that you can use the universal anti-tip device WB2X7909 if the anti-tip bracket provided in the kit does not fit the installation space properly. The anti-tip parts that are provided with the unit are 4 wood screws, 3 hex head screws, 2 required and 1 extra, anti-tip bracket, anti-tip brace, and AHAM anti-tip safety brochure. In order to install the anti-tip device, attach the anti-tip brace onto the bottom of the range in the recessed area. Install 2 hex screws through the brace into the range. This anti-tip device may be installed on the opposite side of the range. Measure and mark dimension A based on the provided range from the left or right side of the installation location. If the countertop has an overhang, then add that dimension to dimension A. Then place the anti-tip bracket against the floor and the back wall at the marked location. Mark screw holes for fastening the bracket to the wall sole plate and the floor. Then drill 1/8 inch pilot holes at a 20-degree angle. And finally, secure the anti-tip bracket to the wall and/or floor with at least 2 wood screws that are provided with this unit. Note: you must use appropriate fastening hardware for concrete or cement construction. Before beginning the installation, keep in mind the following points. Do not use a flame for checking gas leaks. Do not exceed 25 foot-pounds torque during gas line connections. Do not over-tighten the pressure regulator. The gas shutoff valve, provided with this range, should be installed at the rear of the range, near the floor with the handle facing downward. An optional 1/2 inch pipe elbow is provided for making the connection to the range gas inlet. Before disconnecting the old range, make sure to shut off the main gas supply valve and leave it off until the new hookup has been completed. To prevent gas leaks, put gas pipe thread sealant on, or wrap pipe thread with Teflon tape around all male external pipe threads. Install a manual shutoff valve in the gas line in an easily accessed location outside the range. Make sure everyone operating the range knows where and how to shut off the gas supply to the range. Install male 1/2 inch flare union adapter to the 1/2 inch NPT internal thread at the inlet of the shutoff valve on the range. Note: use caution while tightening all the gas connections. Do not over-tighten. Use an additional wrench on the shutoff valve to avoid damage. Install male 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch flare union adapter to the NPT internal thread of the house shutoff valve to keep it from turning. Connect flexible metal appliance connector to the adapter on the range. Position the range properly to connect with the house shutoff valve. After all the connections are done, ensure all range controls are in the off position, and then turn on the main gas supply valve. Finally, use a liquid leak detector or combustible gas leak detector at all gas connections to check for gas leaks. For 36 and 48-inch professional range products, recommended voltage is shown on the screen. Note: do not, under any circumstances, cut or remove the third prong from the power cord. Do not use an adapter. Do not use an extension cord. For dual-fuel professional range products, a 40-amp range cord is supplied with the unit. If a 50-amp range cord is required, it should be marked for use with nominal 1 3/8 inch diameter openings. Place the cable and strain relief at the center within the knockout hole to keep the edge from damaging the cable. The access plate is located on the back of the range. The range is shipped from the factory equipped with a 4-wire cord. For all dual-fuel ranges, it is optional to change from a 4-wire cord to a 3-wire cord. Before changing the electrical connections to a 3-wire cord, ensure to follow all local electrical codes for installation of the product. Refer to detailed installation instructions provided with the product. Warning: to prevent shock, remove house fuse or turn off circuit breaker before beginning the installation. Recommendation: we recommend you have the electrical wiring and hookup of your range connected by a qualified electrician. To change the range to a 3-wire cord from a 4-wire cord, remove the screws to remove the access panel at the rear of the range. Remove the 4 lower terminal screws from the terminal block. Then remove the ground strap, located at the right side of the terminal block, and connect between the center lower portion of the terminal block to the frame of the range, and completely remove the 4-wire cord. Insert the 3 terminal screws through each power cord terminal ring of the 3-wire cord into the lower terminals of the terminal block. Ensure that the center wire, white, neutral, is connected to the center lower position of the terminal block. Tighten screws securely into the terminal block. Replace the access panel. Note: do not remove the ground strap connection during the procedure. Now, to change an existing range from a 3-wire cord back to a 4-wire cord, remove the screws to remove the access panel at the rear of the range. Remove the 3 lower terminal screws from the terminal block. Remove the ground screw and the ground plate and retain them. Then, remove the ground strap. Ensure you must not discard the ground strap or any screws during the procedure. Insert the 1 ground wire terminal ring through the ground plate into the frame of the range. And finally, insert the 4 terminal screws that were removed earlier through each power cord terminal ring into the lower terminals of the terminal block. Be certain that the center wire, white, neutral, is connected to the center lower position of the terminal block. Tighten the screws securely into the terminal block. Replace the access panel. To roll range into position, check the anti-tip bracket is properly installed to avoid tipping of the range. Ensure the plastic covering is beneath the wheels. Carefully roll the range into position without pinching the power cord and the flexible gas tubing. Remove the plastic covering from the floor. To level the range, ensure the range is supported by the legs and not by the wheels, and is in contact with the floor. All the legs of the range must be leveled after the product is installed. The adjoining cabinets, countertops must be level across all the sides of the range. The height of the range must be equal to or more than the countertop height. To adjust the front leg of the range, remove the thumb screw located under the front of the range near the right leg. Then, slide the wrench out of the slot. Slide the front cylinders upward to access the front leveling legs. Adjust the front leveling legs using the wrench. Turn clockwise to raise the legs and stabilize the range, or turn counterclockwise to lower the legs and allow the range to rest on its rollers. After leveling the front legs, return the wrench to its storage slot for future use. Now, to adjust the rear legs of the range, remove the 2 screws from the rear vent trim. Slide the vent trim forward and then lift up to remove. Pull out the 2 semi-attached spill plugs to locate the rear leg extension leveling rods. Use a 1/4 inch driver or socket to adjust the left or right rear legs. Reinsert the 2 semi-attached spill plugs and then replace the rear vent trim using the original screws. Note: to reduce the risk of fire or electric shock, ensure to replace the spill plugs in the leveling rod holes. You can skip this step if the oven doors are in place. To replace the oven doors, do not lift the door by the handle. Firmly grasp the door at the top sides. Then, approach the range with the door angled in a vertical position. Insert the hinges into the respective slots. Then, push the door firmly while opening. After fully inserting onto the hinge, open the door completely. And, finally, push the hinge locks back towards the front frame. Then close the oven door. To check burners, ensure the surface burners are properly placed into the corresponding positions on cooktop. Place the cap on the proper size burner. The cap must be seated and must not rock on the burner. Finally, properly place the grates on the cooktop. The grates are interchangeable. To check surface burners, ensure all the packing materials such as adhesive tapes, wire ties, cardboards, and protective plastics are removed to prevent damage to the range. Push and turn a knob to the light position. A clicking sound indicates proper operation of the ignition system. Sparks will appear at all burners, but gas flows within 4 seconds from the one you selected. After the burner is lit, rotate the knob out of the light position. Try each burner in succession to check all burners. You can determine the quality of flames visually. Normal burner flames for natural gas should be soft blue, and propane gas flames should have yellow tips on outer cones. Long, bright yellow flames are not normal. Normal flames may show signs of an orange tint when well heated, or signs of flickering orange due to particles in the gas or air. To adjust or level the griddle, place the burner grates over the burners. The grates must be properly seated. Before leveling, loosen the 2 inner clamping screws located under the griddle rear flue cover. These screws must not be removed. Now, adjust the slope of the griddle with the 2 leveling screws under the rear flue cover. Then, adjust the griddle for a forward slope using the 2 outer leveling screws. These screws must not be removed. After leveling the griddle, hand tighten the clamping screws. Do not over-tighten to avoid any damage. To finalize the installation procedure, ensure all controls are left in the off position. Ensure the flow of the combustion and the ventilation air around the range is not obstructed. Ensure all the packing materials such as adhesive tapes, wire ties, cardboards, and protective plastics are removed to prevent damage to the range when it is turned on and the surfaces are heated. The installation video is complete. Please refer to the video on conversion for LP gas.